So, initially supported by Israel as a non-political and religious group that could counterweigh the secular Palestine Liberation Organization, it soon created its military offshoot, Hamas, after the outbreak of the first intifada against Israel. Okay. Here we go. General 19. It's got history all the way to 1987. But we're more interested in today. Here we go. Since, let's see, pretty good. Before we keep going, I want to give a reminder. Go ahead and give me a follow if
WHITEHATMARIO just
that
followed.
sounds like your thing. Follow me for daily content. Let's see. Since the mid-1900s, Hamas has gained popularity and support in Palestinian society, drawing support for its rejection of a two-state solution with Israel and its perceived lack of corruption. Many Western countries and their allies have designated Hamas as terrorist organization, citing the militants' use of human shields, methods of hostage-taking of civilians, and history of violence against non-combatants, including massacres of civilian populations, suicide bombings, and indiscriminate rocket attacks on Israeli population centers. However, a 2018 attempt to condemn Hamas for acts of terror at the United Nations failed. Oh, shoot, okay. So they don't know where. They don't know if he's the good guy or the bad guy. Hamas is the anti-hero. Yep. Hamas is actually the anti-hero. Hamas in 2000 today, as of 4 days ago, Hamas launched a major armed campaign dubbed Operation Al-Qaeda Flood against Israel. As part of the offensive, Hamas militants broke through the Gaza-Israel barrier and engaged in massacres of civilian populations, attacks on Israeli military bases, and kidnappings of civilians and soldiers. The assault promoted an Israeli declaration of war and triggered active combat throughout Israel and the Gaza Strip. Yeah. So, in the Gaza Strip, there's some sort of defense mechanism that fires missiles at incoming missiles, kind of shoots down them incoming missiles. And so it seems what happened is a few days ago, October 7th, 2023, they launched a barrage that actually broke through the Gaza-Israel barrier and engaged massacres of civilian population, a whole bunch of other atrocious things. So yeah, these guys are the anti-heroes, maybe. Okay. So if anybody's interested, that's the wiki. Up next, let's see where our brothers are. So here's Syria, Lebanon, Jordan. We zoom in here. There's the Gaza Strip. So this is the area of conflict. And The Gaza Strip. Wow, it's beautiful out there. What a shame. Wow. Wow, incredible. It's a shame that there's a lot of, well, what's happened. Keep going here. Fake news over Israel-Hamas war vintage with Palki Sharma. She's a great journalist.
This war is being fought on the digital battleground too. It is flush with misinformation, and this is not a first. It happened in 2021 during the Gaza war. It happened again in 2022 during the Ukraine war, and it still happens. And now we are seeing the same story play out in Israel, although on a much larger scale. Fake stories and photos are circulating on social media sites Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, you name it, and they have fake news. And the last one, X, seems to be particularly problematic. X was formerly known as Twitter. While fake news on any platform is dangerous, it is especially so on Twitter.
That reminds me, I've gone ahead and added a Twitter link or an X to my Twitch about section. So go ahead and give me a follow there if that sounds like your thing. If you don't use Twitch, don't use X, Twitter, I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like the Hassan thing. I don't know if it's a good guy or the bad guy. But anyways, if that doesn't sound like your thing, then go ahead and
WHITEHATMARIO just followed.
give me a follow here on Twitch. Check out my other channel. Going.
Twitter. Because for a decade, Twitter had become the source of news for the world. But all of that has changed now. You can buy verification. And if you've paid money, it doesn't matter what you post. The platform will promote it. Verify before you share, before you hit that forward button. Because your actions have consequences, and when there's a war, those consequences are often grave. This war is being fought on the digital battleground too. It is flush with misinformation, and this is not a first. It happened in 2021 during the Gaza war. It happened again in 2022 during the Ukraine war, and it still happens. And now we are seeing the same story play out in Israel, although on a much...
They're shooting javelins, a helicopter there.
larger scale.
I hope he's got flares.
Fake stories and photos are circulating on social media sites Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, you name it, and they have fake news. And the last one, X, seems to be particularly problematic. X was formerly known as Twitter. While fake news on any platform is dangerous, it is especially so on Twitter. Because for a decade, Twitter had become the source of news for the world. But all of that has changed now. You can buy verification. And if you've paid money, it doesn't matter what you post. The platform will promote it. Verify before you share, before you hit that forward button. Because your actions have consequences, and when there's a war, those consequences are often grave.
Wow, what a great short here. Yeah, I've been following this journalist here. She's very great. She gets to the nitty-gritty of things and tries to not be unbiased. As unbiased as a reporter is, my opinion. I've been following her for a few years now. So, if you like her stuff, give her channel a check out. It's first post here. Keep going. Up. Israel-Hamas war is a dangerous game of fake news. Here's why. Okay. So, I remember when the Ukraine-Russia conflict started, it was also a time when there was a lot of fake news going about. Or sometimes, actually what I saw was old news resurfacing, being updated as if it was going on now. So it's interesting what's kind of going on. This is my first time learning about this Israel Hamas conflict. So I'm interested in to see what's going on here and if there's any similarities what was going on with Russia and Ukraine. And if there is, I think it points to a more serious problem that's developing. Let's get started. Tell us what's going on, Ms. Sharma.
Let's start our next story with some pictures. Pictures and videos that have gone viral